What's going on? I wanted to talk about the truth about glow ups and basically what that entails. And I'm not here to say I'm the most attractive on the block or whatever, but I will definitely say I glue up. Hopping right into this, a lot of people think it's go to the gym or take steroids and your life is fixed. And that was just not the case for me at all. Sure, obviously, the gym is going to slim you out and build muscle, and that's just science. But the truth about a glow up is so much more than that. Um, and again, it's such a strong word because all of this looks maxing stuff came out, and of course, this is the one year that I decided to lock in with it having nothing to do with that. But a glow up is your standards, and having a reevaluation of where you stand and where you want to go, how you want to get there, and the actions you take. And talking on to my life, again, my life has changed drastically over this last year. And I just sort of wanted to talk about some things that I was able to do to glow up. Um, and, probably the easiest one that everyone has access to and that is able to do is food. Being able to just change your diet, especially if it's really unhealthy, is going to glow you up very quickly. And on top of that, your mental is just so much better. I cannot tell you how much clearer you think, and I know that sounds like a facade, but it's truly not. But on top of that, your body might digest food better. Overall, it's ultra processed food is just not good for you, and I would hope that you would know that. But I understand the temptations there. And again, if you go back and look at my Instagram, that you can go and tell I was a little bit more chunky, literally just over 6 months ago when I decided to truly lock in. And at that point, I had already like committed to locking in, but just not as hard. I had the idea planted in my head, but the further I got down the line, that momentum carried me to just want to go harder and harder. Um, and yeah, so I will say the diet will 100% help. Another very, very important thing is your environment. Again, it's very hard for me to talk about as I gulp. But I was not in a good environment a year ago, just wanting to party, party, party. And, your standards don't lie within looks or trying to look good. They lie within having money to go party. So you're not worried about, your skin or the small things. And, the small things do add up. Um, but that also being your friends. A simple, obvious thing is you are who your friends are, and that's extremely true. I fought that pretty hard, and you know, I found out the hard way that that's true. So being able to take a look at your life and truly, ask yourself, where do I want to go? I think that's the first step, and taking action to get there is the second step. But it all starts with an idea. And yeah, I really just like the idea that changing your environment can really change who you are as a person. But again, um, those three things aren't just necessarily going to glow you up immediately. Changing your diet, environment, and going to the gym. Of course, these things are going to immensely help you, but it's deeper than that. And again, I think your goals have a lot to do, sort of like what I was just saying with you glowing up, because you set a standard for yourself of where you want to go. And I just think that's really important to have an idea in the back of your head of where you want to go, but not just have that idea to act on it. And I'll go ahead and say that I've always been looked at as like, among peers as like, oh, you're going to be the successful one. But the thing was I was right there partying with them. And the only reason that I would get these, people would say these things to me is because they could just tell the drive I had in my head. I had this unrelentless optimism about, where I wanted to go and how I'm going to get there, but I just wouldn't act on it. And, that kind of hurt to live in that state of mind. It's almost like very defeating, especially when people are telling you, like, essentially, you're the chosen one. Like, get out of here. You're not like us. You're better than this. But yet that's all I resort to. So yeah, I don't want this to be a long video, but I think that's just sort of how I feel about where I've gone and how I've gotten to where I'm at in the past, like, maybe 6 months. And again, I'm not here to say I'm better than you. The whole point of why I'm doing this is to help enforce that drive into you, and hopefully you can find that passion and drive that I've always had. So yeah, I hope you have a nice day, and yeah.